Hello, and welcome to today's discussion. I'm Claire, and joining me is Alan.
Hi, I'm Alan. We're covering some significant news stories today.
Let's start with the news about John Bolton.
Right. John Bolton, a former national security advisor for President Donald Trump, pleaded guilty to mishandling classified information. What were the details surrounding this case?
According to the reports, Bolton pleaded guilty to one count of illegal retention of national security information. He faces up to 5 years in prison and has been scheduled for sentencing on October 28th.
That's a serious charge. What did Bolton say during the hearing?
Bolton expressed remorse, saying, "I'm sorry for it," during the hearing before U.S. District Judge Theodore D. Chuang.
It's interesting that Bolton, who has been a critic of Trump, is now facing legal consequences. Did the reports mention if this plea was part of a deal with prosecutors?
Yes, the reports indicate that Bolton's guilty plea was under a deal with prosecutors. The exact terms of the deal weren't detailed in the stories we have.
So, what are the implications of this case? Does it reflect on Trump's administration or Bolton's actions as a critic?
The case primarily focuses on Bolton's handling of classified information. It's a significant legal matter, but doesn't directly comment on his criticisms of Trump. The reporting keeps the focus on the legal aspects rather than the political implications.
That makes sense. Let's move on to another story.
King Charles has made history by becoming the first monarch to publicly disclose his tax payments. He paid £12.9 million in tax for 2024-2025, placing him in the top 100 of Britain's taxpayers.
That's a significant move towards transparency. What was the rationale behind this disclosure, according to the palace?
The Buckingham Palace stated that the disclosures were voluntary and aimed to, quote, encourage wider understanding of our accountability. It reflects a modernization of the monarchy's financial affairs.
This move comes amidst scrutiny of the royal family's finances. How does this disclosure impact the public perception of the monarchy?
It's likely to improve transparency and potentially enhance public trust. By voluntarily disclosing his tax bill, King Charles is showing a willingness to be open about the monarchy's financial dealings.
That's a positive step. Let's discuss another story.
In Ayodhya, 8 individuals have been arrested in connection with the alleged embezzlement of donations at the Ram Temple. The arrests followed an FIR based on an SIT probe into the allegations.
What were the specifics of the allegations and the amounts involved?
The reports mentioned that investigators recovered Rs 79.85 lakh and invoked charges under Criminal Breach of Trust and the Prevention of Corruption Act. Several accused were bank employees involved in counting cash donations.
So the investigation is ongoing. Are there any indications of how widespread this embezzlement might have been?
The stories don't provide detailed insights into the full extent, but the Uttar Pradesh government has pledged an impartial investigation. A preliminary report with significant recommendations has been submitted to the government.
Let's move to another story.
California Governor Gavin Newsom is calling for a national billionaires tax while opposing a similar proposal in California. He suggests the U.S. government should own a stake in AI companies.
That's an interesting stance. What are Newsom's arguments for a national billionaires tax?
Newsom warns that urgent reform is needed to prevent wealth concentration from harming democracy. He proposes a minimum tax on those with over $100 million in net worth.
How does his call for a national tax align with his opposition to a similar state-level tax?
Newsom's position seems to be focused on federal action rather than state-level initiatives. He is considering a 2028 presidential run, and this proposal aligns him with the populist left.
Let's discuss one more story.
The U.S. struck Iran in response to a drone attack on a cargo ship in the Strait of Hormuz. President Trump stated that the attack violated the ceasefire.
What were the details of the U.S. strikes against Iran?
The reports confirm that U.S. forces conducted strikes on Iran on Friday. The action was in response to the Iranian drone strike on a Singapore-flagged cargo ship.
How does this escalation impact the current geopolitical tensions between the U.S. and Iran?
This incident is a significant test to the interim understanding reached between the two countries. It indicates ongoing tensions and the challenges in maintaining a ceasefire.
As we wrap up today's discussion, it's clear that these stories cover a wide range of significant issues, from legal cases involving former officials to geopolitical tensions and financial transparency in the royal family.
Indeed, and each story highlights the complexities and nuances of current events. Thank you for joining us, Alan.
Thank you, Claire. It's been a pleasure discussing these important stories.
And that's all for today's episode. Thank you for listening.